Yep, we are talking about the PWHL's Pride celebrations, which have literally just been announced this week. And it's crazy, you know, how obviously they begin tomorrow. Of course, the first Pride game is our game against New York. That has been circled in my calendar of the games, apart from our trip on the schedule back in October, and yet here we are. So it's yeah. I mean, I love how the PHL celebrates these things. I mean, we kind of feel that the league has always been inclusive from day one, and inclusivity in sports is something very rare. It's something you don't really see it often, particularly on the men's side. The fact that we are lucky to have a league that is so inclusive and welcoming of these various communities that would not be given the platforms that they deserve is incredible. Of course, back in February, you have obviously Black History Month, and here we are now, final month of the regular season. Still crazy to say that. And yep, we have Pride. Now, as we all know, Pride Month is technically in June, but when you have a sports league that does not play in June, you have to get creative, especially if you want to try and celebrate it. So last season, of course, the league did this in April of last year, but of course it didn't really feel like a Pride month because obviously, as you all know, last year the World Championships began at the start of April, and then when we come back, in fact, when we came back last year, each team had 3 days left. Yeah. Each team only had 3 games left after last year's World Championships compared to the 5 that were in Season 1. Of course, obviously, next week it is Division 1A. Me and Lady will be keeping a close eye on that, and we will have a burst episode covering that. So it's going to be a very busy week next week because we've got PHL action still going on, and we've also got IHF tournaments to keep an eye on as well. So it's going to be a very busy week next week for us three. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so last year it didn't really feel like a proper Pride month, whereas this year it kind of does, because obviously we've not got the World Championships until November. Going forward now, so it's all 5 weeks. Yeah, so it means we get to celebrate Pride month twice. Isn't that lovely? Haters, shut the fuck up. Yeah, going straight there our way. Anyone who doesn't like this, you can fuck off now. If anyone doesn't like it, why are you watching? Exactly. Why are you watching? If you hate this, why are you watching? Switch off now. Go and rage bait. Keyboard warrior. Go and have a wank. Do something else than watch this episode. It's not for you. Okay. So I've got all the details here, including all the dates of the Unity games that will be going on. So we'll go straight through. So here we go. So across all 8 markets, PHL teams are bringing Pride to life through integrated game experiences, including pre-game mixers, live performances, in-game storytelling, and community engagement that celebrate and amplify LGBT voices. This year, the PHL joined forces with Canadian apparel brand Pour de l'Eau to create a seamless Pride collection created by the LGBT plus community for the LGBT plus community. This collaboration reclaims the rainbow as a decoration, not decoration. So the PHL is proud to support the Trevor Project and Alphabet Sports Collective through a league-wide donation and dedicated in-game activations during our Pride celebrations, amplifying their vital work and commitment to the LGBT plus community. And this collection will be available for purchase online soon later this month, after the Pride celebration games are complete. So basically the end of the regular season, because the last two are the last game of the season. So wow, not sure you've done that right. I mean, if I was making a collection for a special case like this, I wouldn't wait till after the event to do it. I would do it before the event. Not sure about that, but oh god. Anyway, you guys know by now with me and my grind with the PHL and its merchandising situation. You know how I feel about that. Anyway, so it's gonna be lots of fun coming up over the next couple of games. Who knows? We might have some heated rivalry references. I know when the Sharks did their Pride night a few weeks ago, there was on the video board there was a lot of heated rivalry references. In fact, I think it might have been last week before the Sirens had their Pride night. I need to check that. But yeah, so the Sharks had a lot of heated rivalry references. So I'm not sure why the Sharks do a lot of heated rivalry references, because there's no Stars 18 in the franchise. Stars 8 got replaced with San Francisco, the franchise. So I'm not sure why we're trying to be all, heated rivalry. Yes, Scott, gonna get a load of this. Well, there's no Stars 18 there, anyway. But yeah, so yeah. Watch out if there's any of those references. And why not? After all, Rachel Reed is clearly a big PHL fan. She's been to, both Halifax games this year. She was also in Ottawa last weekend when the Charge and Victoire went head-to-head at CTC back on Good Friday. So, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. Right. So, I'm now going to take you through all the Pride games that are going to be happening over the next few weeks, okay? The first of those is tomorrow, April the 11th, when our Minnesota Frost are back in action. It's our penultimate home game before playoffs. Only 2 more home games left for the Frost this season before we head back on the title defence. So our Pride game is tomorrow. Frost vs Sirens, 12 PM CT. That is going to be 6 o'clock in the evening here in the UK. So it's about an hour after the Grand National. So yes, it's a big sporting day tomorrow, kids. It's a big sporting day tomorrow. Get your flutters on, the GGs in now. It's a big day tomorrow in terms of sports. It's a very big day tomorrow in terms of sports. Yeah, so our Pride event, our Pride Gate is tomorrow, April 11th. That has been circled on my calendar as the games to watch, along with obviously the trip and the Tegel Tour games this year as standouts. That's the first one. The next one will then be on Wednesday, April the 15th. That's the York Sirens final home game. When they'll be, it's a big one. They're taking on the Toronto Scepters. So Sirens vs Scepters. Wednesday, April the 15th. That's 7 PM Eastern at Prudential Centre. So that's New York's Pride Night. Then it's Montreal. So Montreal's Pride Night is on April the 17th. That's a Friday. Also a big game. As the Victoire will be hosting the Fleet at 7 PM Eastern. Depending on what happens at TD Garden tomorrow, could that be the game that decides our league champion? Who knows? It could be. It very well could be. So that is so that's Montreal. So that following them will then be the Ottawa Charge. Their Pride Night will be on April the 18th. That's a Saturday. That's next Saturday. Charge vs Sirens. 7 PM Eastern at TD Place. Then a few days later, you've got Tio. The Scepters Pride Night in Tio will be Scepters vs Sirens at 7 p.m. Eastern at Coca-Cola Coliseum. Then our Expansion Sisters, they will be having theirs as well on the last day of the season. But before that, yep, just spoiler there. Boston's. I'll come back to the sisters in a moment. So then after the Charge, it's Boston on April 22nd. That'll be Fleet vs Charge at 7 p.m. Eastern at Songa Centre. Could that be a pivotal matchup for the Charge in terms of playoffs? We will see. And then it's our Expansion Sisters, Seattle and Vancouver, both on the same day. So both Seattle and Vancouver's Pride Nights are on April the 25th. For the Toronto, they'll be hosting the Victoire at Clyde Pledge Arena. And the Golden Knights will be hosting our Frost at Pacific Coliseum. We are still waiting the times for the final day of the regular season. Mind you, on the last day of the regular season this year, April 25th, all 4 teams will be in action. It's exactly like it was last year. Last year, all the inaugural 6 teams were in action. They all started one after the other, which meant there was a lot of box score watching from our game in Boston, because Ottawa and Tio had got underway earlier. They were the first game. There was a lot of box scoring depending on the playoff standings. We might not have a situation like that again this year, because of course the first 3 spots are already locked in, and of course we have a 3-way battle between New York, Ottawa, and Tio for that last spot. It might be wrapped up by then. Who knows? And of course, goal plan also is still up for grabs. I think that probably is going to be Seattle's, but we will see how it goes. They delayed their inevitable back on Wednesday in TV place, didn't they? Yep. Come on, Seattle. Good things happen when you get eliminated in this league. Okay? It's not like in the NHL where, oh, you're eliminated. Oh, that's it. Get the golf clubs out. No. In this league, when you are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, you still have something to fight for. So, for Seattle, yeah, great, you got more points, but at the end of the day, you kind of delayed your opportunity to then really rack up these draft order points, because you would have had more opportunities than Vancouver would have had. So, just saying. I'm just saying. But we are still waiting for confirmation of the start times for all 4 games on what is going to be a super Saturday. April the 25th. That's what, 2 weeks away now? Oh my god, we're 2 weeks away from the end of the regular season. Jesus Christ, it's not fair. And then you think, yeah, great playoffs, but they'll then go in the blink of an eye as well, and we'll be in June with expansion draft and entry draft before we know it. And then of course July is when it gets really bad, guys, off season, because by that point all you've got is just free agency, and it's always sparse throughout the summer months. So yeah, it's not nice. We need a longer season. We need an expanded schedule. We need it now. Hopefully this next round expansion will do that, he says, praying doubtfully. Anyway, so yeah, so this is very excited for this as always. Doing moments like these are really important for me and for so many people. About me, we'll say that for another time. we will say that for another time. About me, we can say that for another time, but I'm going to focus on in the communities in general, okay? This is really important, because representation in a volatile world that we have today is more important than ever before. And it's true what B.G. King says. If you can see it, you can believe it. Okay? So, I know we do have issues in this league. We do have some players who haven't really been kind to the LGBT community, and what roster luck that our Pride Night is involving the 2 teams that have got controversial players on their ice. And I'll tell you what, guys, if Brita's name gets announced at any point during tomorrow's game on the PA system, I will boo. I will boo. I did it in Grand Casino. Yeah, he got PWHL. He did! He did! Yeah, and I got a dirty look. Do you? I think we talked about it a while about post-trip content. So, I wasn't too sure what I was going to do with the Brit situation when we were on our trip, and then I thought, you know what? I'm not happy she's on my team. We have conflicting views. Plus, she's too aggressive a player. So, you know what? Boo! And for our game in Grand Casino Arena, that was against Orwa, when I did the boo, the person next to me just turned to me and gave me a look. What's up? And then, later on, towards the game, had the cheek to then say, oh, I think this goal is really bad. I was like, what? No, sorry. You can't have a go at me for booing one of my team's players because I don't agree with their boos, and then you go and slag off the result. You can't do that! Can't do that! No! If I can boo, you can heckle. Alright? That's just no! Honestly, okay? So, it does kind of feel rotten look that our Pride Night is involving two teams who are going to have players on the ice who both have controversial views about the community that you're supposed to be shining a spotlight on. Anyway, pick your battles. You have to pick your battles, and this is one I'm not going to get involved in. Okay. I learned that in season 2. Right, you can't go here. Your focus is on growing this league. Do not let that contradict anything else, okay? Just focus on growing the league. Focus on growing the league. Plus, the Pebble Trio, we gave her a chance, and we all won rid of her. You guys will remember last year during the expansion process, we were not happy that she got that full protection slot over the likes of, you know, Kelly Paddock, Grace Unwinkle, and obviously Denise Shishara, but of course we know how that went up, don't we? Yeah. So moments like these really do matter more than ever, especially as the AHL is completely backwards in terms of the league. I mean, I can remember the days when the AHL had the Hockey is for Everyone initiative. And in fact, during my first business, as I say, back in 2018, so that's more than 8 years ago now, I was there for our Hockey is for Everyone night. We were playing the Vancouver Canucks, and I don't think I knew what that was until I got into my seat, and the logo was literally plastered on the video board, and you had during the pre-entrance, you had Sharky basically skating around carrying a Hockey for Everyone flag. So, you know, and the fact that now these are the AHL just doesn't bother anymore. I mean, the AHL got rid of special jerseys a few years ago, and that just shows how backwards the AHL's gone. I mean, yes, some players do try to sneak on Pride tape, but that's so tiny you can barely see it. Yeah, I think I've made my position very clear that the AHL now belongs to the Dark Ages. I think I've made that quite clear. If I haven't, then, well, you do know now. Yeah, so I think it's really good that the PWHL is able to do moments like this for both the Pride community and the Black community. And it just shows how progressive we are, how inclusive we are, because I can easily name you guys LGBT players in the PWHL and black players in the PWHL. AHL, I can't do that. Yes, there are some black players in the AHL, but I can't name their names off the top of my head like I can the PWHL. And when it comes to LGBT players... What LGBT players? Okay, the AHL is still the only league in men's sports not to have at least one gay player compete at all. Okay, and yes, we all know about Luke Prokop, but he has still. In fact, I had to Google this the other day. I had to Google how old he was. He's 23. He's 23. He was what? He was drafted what? Back in what? 2021? 2021? So he would have been So you're about what? No, about 18. So you've been 18 was drafted. You got drafted back in 2021. And he's still, that's 5 years ago now, and he's still yet to have hit on the ice in the AHL. Seriously, what is Smashville waiting for before he gets a chance? Okay? But then again, as we all know, Nashville doesn't like promoting up-and-coming talent, do they? They prefer OAPs to young blood. How do you think we got Yaroslav Askarov? How's UC Soros going for you, Nash? How's he going? Got any retirement home plans for him yet? Yeah. So, the AHL can pretend that it's doing good for the community. You can try to milk heated rivalry all you like, even though you technically should not be doing it. Okay? But, nah. Until you actually get LGBT players in the AHL, we're not buying it. We're not buying what you are selling. We're not going to believe that you are inclusive when, you know, what have you done to make this league inclusive and feel safe for those on ice and off the ice or on the community? So, no. So I think it's really good how that we are going to be doing an episode about the PHL's inclusivity phrase soon. We have got that in the pipeline. There's a lot of bonus episodes we've got in the pipeline, which we're hoping to clear up in the summer. And one of those is this episode on inclusivity in the PHL, full stop. Not just for the LGBT community, but also for the black community as well. So we're going to be doing that hopefully very soon. It's one of the many burst episodes we've got to plan to do in the summer. But given how I've got a feeling the summer's also going to be dealt with expansion stuff, we'll see how that goes. And we've also got to do report cards and all that. So yeah, so it's one of the main bursts we've got to do over the summer months, and we're going to see if we can get that done at some point. So we do want to do an episode about inclusivity, but the timing has to be right with this episode. So just hold out for that, guys. It will come eventually. You've got to be patient. You just got to be patient for it, guys. But it is gonna come soon. Promise, absolute promise. Hand on heart, it's gonna come soon. This time's got right. Yeah, so I'm really excited for this. And the beauty of us three having upped our PHL coverage this year, it means that we can watch every single one of these games and follow them as a whole. I will be promoting them all. In fact, I'll put them all in my calendar, so I know for certain when these are happening. Obviously, the Bob with the Frost are already in there, because obviously I get the Frost schedule put and everything. I think what I'm going to do next season, when next season's schedule rolls out, I'm just going to put the entire league schedule in there. Because for the last 3 seasons, I've just done the Frost schedule. But seeing as how this year we pretty much have, we upped our coverage and pretty much have done almost every single game. So one or two we haven't done because of clashing with us. I'm thinking what next season, I may as well just put the entire league schedule in, and then it's done, and then I don't need to make changes if they update start times and all that stuff. That's what I'll do next year, so I'll just put the whole league schedule in, and it's done. It's done. Especially if we've got more teams coming on the horizon, so yeah. That should be coming any day now, they say. So, we are sort of getting close to that timeline that they did last year with both Vancouver and Seattle. But of course, the question is this year, is it 2? Is it 4? Who knows? We want 4. We want 4 because of this upcoming draft class in June. If you can get 4 more teams in, then you can maximise the possibility of drafting so much star talent. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we should be getting that news very, very soon. Yeah, but I am so excited. It does make you wonder, why did none of these teams have someone already? Why has it all been kind of pushed to the end of the month when, you know, we have had a 4-month April this year compared to the previous 2 years? So I'm just anyway, I'm not gonna hesitate too much about it, because obviously, at least we're doing something. At least we're doing something for Pride. Other leagues just don't touch it with a barge pole, and that's shameful. That's disgraceful, and it should be unacceptable in this day and age. So, yeah, the world is not black and white, guys. It's a lovely rainbow. Oh, I know, but they're probably in a box somewhere. I know. Didn't think that through, did I? No. Sorry, I just made a reference to one of my TV shows from a kid, but I'm not going to go there because it'll make me feel very, very old. A lot of you will go, who? Just Google Rainbow Bungle. Just do that. Put those two words side by side to one another. You'll see what I mean. Just do that. Just Google it that, okay? They are around somewhere. It's just in a box somewhere, and it always moves each time. So, we'll just leave them be for now. Yeah. Cheers, boy. Yeah. Oh. Did you attend the show in Salford all those years ago? Oh, you did, right? I was wondering, how does he know about? So, there we go. No. So it was a TV show that was on when I was a kid, really young kid. It was way before Pluto. It would have been early primary school age for me, and it was a TV show called Rainbow, and one of my favourite characters was called Bungle the bear. Loved Bungle. Yeah, so that just shows how old I am. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google Rainbow Bungle, put those two words together, and you'll see what I mean. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's just great that we get to have a moment like this, as always. And the beauty of a hockey fan is, if you care about this as much as I do, you need to get 2 opportunities in the year to actually celebrate the event. Of course, we have this celebration coming over the next 2 weeks with the PWHL. Then, of course, in June, which of course is the actual Pride Month, you get to do it all over again. And then you're out and proud, you then get to do a third go of it in your city's respective Pride weekends, which always vary in this country depending on which city. It's never communally agreed on whether that should be. Every city does it at various different points at the year. Manchester always does theirs on Bank Holiday Weekend in August, which is just like complete utter hell. But anyway. So I think I'm gonna draw this one to a close. I think we've pretty much got everything we can cover for there. Yeah, so keep an eye out. We might be doing some stuff with it. We'll see. I'm tempted to recap the games. I might not. We'll see. But if you definitely check out my Instagram at George D. Hand, I will definitely be promoting each team's respective Pride night, as well as also my Blue Sky. That is also George D. Hand. But of course, with Blue Sky, it gets complicated because you now have to probably .bsky, all that. So if you just type George D. Hand into Blue Sky search engine, it pops up straight away. I'm loving the Blue Sky, by the way. Absolutely loving it. So there you go. Those are the 2 main ones for me, apart from YouTube and Tumblr. Okay, so just bear in mind. Yeah, so I'll put the link to the article in the description below, so you can go check out these. You can go check out some of those initiatives, which we haven't really had time to cover today. Yeah. So happy Pride, everyone, and until next time, take care, guys. Don't forget to